Is it live now? Oh, we're recording.
We're recording.
All right, so we got change the subject. Can't talk about.
I have to go get my coffee.
Can't talk about that girl anymore.
All right, we are recording. We're not even supposed to be on the show right now, dude. That's insane. That's stupid.
Okay. Yeah. Well, one.
Every time I've been on the show, I've said.
So you go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
But you didn't specify PST or Eastern time. You didn't specify. So I thought 10 a.m. us.
Oh Jesus.
Where does Brian live?
See, lesson learned. He's in Chicago. He's in Chicago. I'm gonna text him right now. These guys are on. Oh shit! You know what? I have an echo. I'm gonna fix that right now. So what happened was, I thought I had a podcast with Patrick Vellner at 7 a.m. I got up, and then he. Oh, fuck! I hear an echo. So he got up. I got up. You guys hear the echo?
Yeah.
I don't.
I hear my echo too.
Jayson already has a hard work pays off shirt. Did O'Keefe send you that?
I commented on that. I FaceTimed him.
I have no idea.
I
have no idea who sent me these. They showed up on my doorstep.
Did you get 5 of them, all different colors?
You're a liar. He ordered those.
Of course.
I got no, because him and I know the same guy. We probably each got the same package. I got 5 too. And then Dave asked to borrow my black one, and when it got returned to me, it had a TDC logo on it right here.
Dang. I got my dude. The white one's my favorite, and I accidentally got pin on it, and it won't come off. I'm pissed.
I like white shirts. I like white shirts a lot, but I still hear an echo from. Do you hear an echo from me?
No, it's all better. Kinda. It's kinda better. I don't know. I can't do anything else about it. Hopefully, it doesn't fuck the whole show up. Hey, hard work pays off shirt. Oh, this is gonna be really weird. This next question. What size shirt do you wear, Jayson?
XL.
Oh, thank God, because I wear a large, but it fits me in the shoulders, but everything else it looks like a fucking nightgown.
What are you gonna do with that?
Doesn't fit you in the shit. Does not fit. Large shirt doesn't fit Sevan in the shoulders. No, it doesn't.
Look at. This is a large.
A kid's large?
No, it's a. I think it's a woman's large.
Sevan, you about to work out? You got wristbands on?
No, I don't work out with these. I don't want them to get sweaty.
He sleeps with them.
What are they for? What are they for?
Just for keeping me warm. I try to do every podcast with these wristbands to keep me warm, and then I take them off if I get a little sweaty, and then I also wear socks too. You know what I was tripping on today? I'll be 70 when you're 44. That was like one of my first thoughts this morning. When I'm 70, you won't even be as old as I am now.
How old are you?
I'm 49. Doesn't that seem old to you? When I was your guys' age, if someone said they were 49, I was like, shit, they're old.
You're like, yeah, well, you have kids and stuff, old, but not like, you're not like old.
Jayson, you don't have to be nice like Taylor. Tell me how old I am.
How old do you look? You look about 58.
Perfect.
It's a good number.
So I asked you to be on the podcast, and you said, no, you're too busy, and then I see that you're with the Buttery Bros. Explain.
Hold on. Are we doing the show right now? Is this like live? Like, is Brian coming on? Like, what are we doing?
I have no idea if Brian's coming on. I'm telling you, I thought I had a podcast with Patrick Vellner at 7. Then I was wrong. It was at 8:30. That's actually the first time that's happened in 80 shows. And then so I was like, fuck. So I went back to bed, and then I was wondering why Taylor asked for a link. And I send the link, and I'm in bed, and I say to my wife, do you hear someone in the house? And she goes, I did hear someone. So I come fucking running in here to my computer, and you two dudes are on my fucking computer. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you just leave your podcasting open, dude?
Yeah, I guess I did. And then I had made this cup of coffee for the Vellner podcast, and I was going to save it, but
so you could have been walking around the kitchen, farting and burping, and we could have heard all that.
Yeah, the good thing is I do like to drop a deuce before the podcast, and like at 6:58, I hadn't dropped a deuce yet. Oh, let's see, Brian just wrote back. Hold on, okay. So how How did you rationalize being around the buttery boys, Jayson? You were like, okay, this will get me some. This will get what? This will get me some exposure, and so I already did the Sevan podcast, and that already got me enough exposure. That gave me 12 new followers. I'll do the buttery boys, and now I'll get another 12. Is that? How did you rationalize it?
That was pretty much it. Exactly right.
Well, that's fair.
They play to a different crowd than you do, Sevan.
They do?
Well, I don't watch the Buttery Bros on YouTube, but I do watch you. So
Okay.
like he would have. So if Jayson was going to gain a follower, it wouldn't have been me, but other people for sure. Just a different crowd.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude. Trying to expand the horizon.
Did hanging out with them affect your training at all? Do you think it made you better or worse?
Worse, dude. I was so distracted.
Serious?
No.
Oh. Okay, the main reason why we're on the show is we want to know what happened to Taylor.
They actually made me go harder because I was on camera. So
Here it comes, dude.
That's good. I believe that. So what's well, before we get to Taylor, because I think that's the climax of the show. He went out and Taylor knows some of the games workouts, right?
I know a lot of them. I know all of them.
yeah.
Have you actually straight up asked him, can you tell me the workouts?
No.
Has he told you any voluntarily?
No, he won't tell me. He signed a whatever form. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, he doesn't care. What are they going to take from him?
Dude, they could a lot, sir.
They're going to take away his 400 followers on Instagram.
They're going to take away his Honda Civic. And
I don't drive a Honda Civic. Jayson drives a shittier car than I do. Let's get that straight out of the gate here.
Dude, I live frugal, bro. Look at that Hyundai out there, baby.
No, you don't live frugal. You don't live frugal, bro.
Frugal, baby. Dude, are you serious? I'm repping a free shirt that was dropped off at my doorstep. And
what did you do before Mac? What did you do before Mac, though?
Huh?
How many shirts? How many clothing and shirts did you buy before Mac?
Like 3 or 4.
All right, so that's me. Same thing. I have 2 roommates. I live frugal.
Hey, what do you mean you bought shirts before the Mac? You mean just like nice clothes so that like you present well to the cameras, stuff like that? Like you were going to a wedding or something?
Yeah, dude. It was like putting on my jersey. Like I had to buy some new
good,
stuff.
Look
dude.
good, play good, man.
What shirts did you get?
I don't know, a few Nike shirts.
Are you sponsored by Nike?
No.
I wonder, is Matt still sponsored by Nike? I know he sells their shoe.
Yeah, he is.
Or they sell his shoe. Do they sell his shoe or he sells their shoe?
What? I don't know.
Does Nike sell Matt Fraser's shoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to answer that one in case you get a sponsor one day?
Yeah, I don't know.
So Taylor, tell us about so you get you reach out to Dave.
Should we wait for Brian?
No. So you reach out to Dave and say, "Hey, can I come out to Aromas?" Or how does that work? How did you demo the games workouts?
What do you mean? How did I demo?
How
does what work?
How did it happen? How did you end up in Aromas? Like we know how Jayson got to the games. He worked hard.
He was so upset after the Granite Games that he felt so bad for himself that he wanted to be a part of the CrossFit Games in some kind of measure. So he reached out to Dave.
But that's true. But it was after the last chance qualifier, so you got that really fucked up to start. Well, I Instagram messaged Dave and I said, "Hey, I'll do whatever you need. I'll be your indentured servant for a week." As long as it doesn't involve any heavy deadlifting, but I can beat everyone else in all the workouts.
Oh, you did do that? You put a caveat on it? No heavy deadlifting?
No, I didn't say that. I said I would do whatever. If you need somebody to help, and he said, could I fly out and test workouts? I said, yeah. And flew out.
And the deadlift comment was just a joke because that was what held you back from making it to the CrossFit Games and competing against the great Jayson Hopper.
The Jayson Hopper, yeah.
And the prodigy, the chosen one.
He said he got hurt lifting that freaking pig, so he got hurt deadlifting.
Yeah.
dude, listen to this. He came in 7th in the Granite Games. He came in 4th in the last chance qualifier, and then he got hurt on event 1 of testing in the CrossFit Games.
And he came last at the demo team trials.
Oh my god, I'm fucking.
So I've never heard of anyone getting hurt demoing the in aromas, like demoing workouts. Like you legitimately got hurt.
What is legit? Well, describe legitimately.
Like it,
what do
like
mean?
you got, like you didn't continue.
Yeah. I mean, what was the point? My season was over. It wasn't like I couldn't. I wasn't. It wasn't like, oh, I held back. Like I could if I wanted to, but it was a freak accident. Slipped and ate a big old pile of dookie.
So can you tell me exactly what happened? So you have this pig and you're starting. How high off the ground did you have it? Like how did the injury? Did your back just seize up like the way?
No. So they announced the workout that has the pig flip in it, so I can say I was flipping a pig. And basically the way it was set up was I was flipping it on this turf strip, and it was in the dirt though. So like I had flipped it a few times. And then I had it like halfway up in this position to flip on the next time. Wow, dude. So Jayson, let's take a quick pause. He's talking shit about me right now. But he texted me before the show. He goes, "Hey, dude, let's build each other up on the Sevan podcast. Let's not talk shit about one another. Let's talk about how great we are." Now look what he's doing.
Well, that's funny because I called Brian last night and I said, "Hey, tomorrow's your lucky day." He goes, "What?" I go, "Because all I'm going to do is talk shit to Taylor the whole time, and that'll give you some reprieve."
Oh, dude, you don't talk shit to Brian. But yeah, dude, I knew this is what this was going to be, dude. You guys trying to make me the butt of your jokes, but it's all good.
Okay, so you're like on your third flip and you're lifting it up.
I didn't say a number. I was on a pig flip. I was a few pig flips in.
And you said you were in the dirt, but also on turf. So we got a little.
Well, I was on turf, but there was like, it was basically like a line of stall mats or whatever. And so I was flipping this pig, and I stepped just barely off, like half on, half off the turf, and my foot slipped in the dirt and went into the splits and just tweaked my hamstring a little bit.
You went into the splits?
Yeah. I mean, I can get into the splits, but like with like a 15-minute warm up, not right into it.
Not with like 300 pounds just forcing you down into them within a 1 second.
However heavy it was, yeah.
So I picture you like with your hands up over the pig, and the pig basically resting on your head and hands, and it pushing you down into the splits. Is that correct?
I didn't see it. It happened really fast. They pulled the pig off of me, and I stood right back up.
Oh, really? Who pulled the pig off of you?
I don't know. I think Dave was one of the persons who pulled it off. So, like, popped it right off. I popped back up and took my first step. Just felt my hamstring was tight. And
How much of a doofus did you feel after, like did you feel like
it was probably one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me. I'm not even.
Did you feel like you let down Dave, like asking if you got out there and then you kind of screwed him over the first event?
I definitely felt like that. It was so embarrassing. It was beyond embarrassing.
Did the other athletes go, "Oh," like did you hear audible gasp from the?
I think they thought I was really fucked up. I think they thought that I broke my back or neck or something. But
what was the first thing Dave said?
He asked if I was all right.
Wow.
Yeah, Dave's a great guy.
Wow. So that means you won't be on the demo team.
Correct.
Damn. And that was kind of the goal. This was a tryout to get on the demo team so you could cheer Jayson on.
I don't know that it was I guess that. I mean, yeah. You could phrase it like that.
Do you think this will affect your future in CrossFit in terms of your injury? Like, is it something that you'll have the rest of your life? Like when you throw a softball as hard as you can cold when you're like 30 years old, and then it stays with you the rest of your life?
No, I don't know what that's like at all. No, this is not an injury. I wouldn't even consider it an injury. I'm just pulled my hamstring a little bit.
Have you trained since that happened?
Huh?
Have you trained since that happened?
I've done a little working out.
Oh, what do you think, Jayson? Sounds injured to me.
He does sound injured. He doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. He should be working out like 12 times a day. So
Brian, someone finally DM'd me about all the pecking you do on your computer, on your keyboard. I kind of like it. It's a good sound effect. It makes it look like someone's doing research and gives a shit about our guests. But just so you know, we had our first complaint about all that pecking you do on your keyboard.
Well,
We're gonna get a complaint about the echo.
Hopefully, I can take that out.
is that also my fault?
The echo? No. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This software has a feature that helps take the echo out.
Usually it doesn't matter if it's actually
Taylor,
my
have
fault
you-
or not. He just blames me anyway.
Well, that was
True.
happening before you got on.
If you weren't injured, would you go to Jayson and help him train? Would that be something you'd be doing?
I don't think he would want me to.
It would be bad for morale, like if you beat him in some workouts.
No, that's not what I said. He just didn't invite me, so
I know. Sorry, that was a question mark. I know I didn't phrase it like a question, but
I have no idea.
how come you haven't invited Taylor to come work out with you and like push you and help?
I don't know. Honestly,
I didn't ask to go work out with him either.
yeah, I think the real reason is because I want to head to Madison pretty confident, and from history, I know Taylor and I get pretty close to finishing at the same time in workout. So I didn't want any finishing second in training, and then me going to Madison and having thoughts of, oh crap, if I can't beat Taylor, who's not in the CrossFit Games, how am I gonna beat the rest of the guys?
Is it weird to you that he didn't make the games? Like when we first interviewed you, I hadn't met him, and you were like, "Yeah, dude's fucking good. He beats me in some workouts." Is that his fault? He didn't make the games?
Yes.
Did he shit the bed and fuck it up?
Yeah, I don't think it was a direct reflection of his fitness, man. I mean, it really did come down to the first event in Granite Games. Like if he just tweaked that, and he knows it was a rookie mistake. If he comes in a couple places more or better than that, the whole dynamic changes. But it helps me because I was telling him this the other day. I said, I'm kind of glad you didn't make the CrossFit Games because you're the only person that I would be worried about there, because I know how hard he works. He's like the only person I know like personally there. I know his training. I know how hungry he is, and that stuff will mess with me if I'm competing against someone that I know that well. So,
What were you saying, Brian? It was the second event. Were you correcting Jayson?
second event.
Yeah, it was.
Second event, first workout.
The first event was a snatch. The first event was a snatch. He did great. And the second event was a dumbbell thruster. Started quickly and faded to 19th. I really think if he would have finished even like 15th, it would have been good enough.
So I think 16th is the
16th.
number.
Yeah, it didn't need to be that much better than it was. Then that's, of course, looking in hindsight, but I think it was mostly a mental thing for him. I mean, despite that finish, I think he could have still rallied and made it, but that was weighing on him over the next 2 days.
So he could have either gotten like 4 or 5 places better in that event, or just like one place better in each event.
Yeah, it was just a couple points kept him up.
What a mess. Hey, will it be even worse for you, Taylor, if Jayson does really well at the CrossFit Games? We'll be like, oh, fuck. That could have been me. Or is the bad shit, or does it just not get any worse than it already is?
Well, I think framing it of it being worse, or it being, I mean, I guess there's a couple ways to look at it. I don't think whether he does well or bad will really affect me at this point. I think before going into Granite, it was like a little bit of pressure, knowing how well he did at the MAC. We talked about this a little before, but I mean, this is my first full season and coming off a knee surgery. So I had really high expectations, but also framing it in that lens, like I've come a pretty long way despite some other big stuff. And not that those are excuses, but
We did, Sevan.
Brian, I don't know if you heard this part, but Taylor was lifting the pig at the ranch, trying out to be on the demo team, and he slipped on some uneven surface and it landed on his head and folded him in half. And Dave and, and some of the helping.
I'm about to fold you in half, dude. I'm gonna fly back.
And that's why I'm not going to Madison, because I don't think you're the only one who wants to fold me in half.
Yeah,
your wife, bro, probably.
That's the way.
Anyway, he got squished and went into the splits, and
Fuck.
That sounds awful. Taylor, there was a.
Do you love that visual, Hopper? Do you love that
I
visual?
I'm really glad it's not on video because it would 100% be viral.
I love that visual of you just getting pushed down into the splits. That's amazing.
That sounds really kind of weird when you say it like that.
I wanted to.
It's
Taylor, I
attractive.
had a thought for you here, or a question maybe. A few weeks ago, as the semifinals were finishing, I was doing some analysis because in some of the competitions there were 6 events, and some of them were 7 events this year. And this guy named Brian Quinn did a bunch of data compilation and sent me the stats. Obviously, it's impossible to like superimpose a 7th event into a competition like the Mid-Atlantic. But what he did was, for all the live competitions that had 7 events, he took each one away individually to reveal like how it would have shifted the leaderboard. And in the case of the Granite Games, if event 2 had not been scored, you would have placed 3rd. And if event 4 had not been scored, you would have placed 4th. And if event 5 had not been scored, you would have placed 5th. So in 3 different scenarios, if we just omitted one event, you still would have had enough points to get into the games if it was only a 6 competition event. And that was also true for Nick Matthew on 3 different occasions. He would have got in, and in one of those occasions, you both would have gotten in. So it was just it was actually kind of a cool study to see how if you just take one event out, it could have had a drastic impact on up to 4 people just on the men's side, remainder of the season.
Well, I guess my question there is that less? That seems like when you say it like that, it seems like though, when you make it a smaller test of fitness, that I had more chance of making it, but the more you broaden the test, the less chance I have.
I mean, you could interpret it that way.
I don't think that's an interpretation. That's an observation. That's like a fact.
Yeah. So I don't think it. I'm not mad there were 7 events. I think in most scenarios, the more tests, the better for me.
And I think that.
What about Jayson? Did they do that same thing at the Mid-Atlantic, Brian? Like, if you would have taken, is there any event we could have taken out so that Jayson wouldn't have taken first?
We'd have to add an event.
Well, we were talking about it.
Because they
only had 6 scored events there. And so he didn't do it for the competitions that had 6 events. He only saw it because I don't know how you'd add one. But anyway, it was just kind of an interesting thing, and it was true for all the competitions. If you removed an event, there were often small changes in the games qualifications.
I thought I had pretty good finishes at the Met.
Yeah, you had great finishes.
I think my worst finishes were Taylor's best finish.
Oh, that's a good question.
No doubt, but the workouts were also very, very different. It wasn't the same programming, and we weren't head to head. I'm glad I didn't have to go there, dude. You went there.
Hey, do you wish you would have chosen a different semifinal in hindsight, Taylor?
No. I think everything happened the way it needed to happen. I'll go to the MAC next year, I think for sure, just to reduce travel. I'll make my first choice the MAC. It's not that I get.
They're not doing the MAC next year. All of them are changing.
Are they?
Yeah, Hopper knows all that shit. He's in now. Now that he's like butt buddies with O'Keefe, he's gonna have all sorts of intel. He's gonna have all sorts of intel.
Yeah, let's hear about that. Elaborate. They're not having it. What do you mean? Is it gonna be?
Why would they? Yeah, they were just. I thought they were just chosen. Like they're gonna probably go around. Like next year will probably be another competition. Just like they were. What were all the sanctionals a couple years ago?
Oh, so they're gonna rotate it. So it'll be like Rogue next year, Wadapalooza.
I don't think it'll be those. I think it'll be like some smaller ones.
Matt wasn't. I don't know if insinuating is the right word or stating fact, but Matt was mentioning in the podcast that we did with him that the reason why it wasn't Dubai, Wadapalooza, and Rogue is because CrossFit HQ had put a limit on the prize money that semifinals could give out, and those 3 events weren't willing to lower their prize money. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't know why CrossFit HQ would limit the amount of prize money you could win in a semifinal. None of that actually makes sense to me. But I'm sure it does. I'm sure there's some reason behind it. I just haven't asked Dave. I'll ask him on the next podcast I do with him, and get back to you guys. Jayson, so how tell me about your experience with the Buttery Boys. Like what did you guys do? Like, did you do that paddle thing? Did you open your legs and do the paddle thing?
I did that one time.
He opened his legs for sure.
I did that once.
And when you work with them, do they give you stuff for your Instagram? Like, do they give you good photos? I mean, they're amazing photographers and videographers. Did they give you good photos and give you any slow-mos and like
all of it, the whole 9 yards?
And they already sent it to you, like shots of like you doing pull-ups where your lats look twice as big as they really are, so like you can pump that shit out during the games.
Yeah, they sent me some. I'll show you some.
Have you posted any
some.
already?
Yeah, my last one.
Did
Now
you?
let's look this up.
They posted me a. Look at this.
I put him on mute, so I have to search him. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's a great photo. Man, those
They
guys
sent me
are
a
talented.
They sent me a bunch of stuff, which was cool. They had me running with their glasses on, so they made like glasses. So they made me do a whole workout with these on.
Matt would have never done that for free.
I know.
You're a good dude. Don't worry, that'll go away. You'll stop being a good dude at some point.
Yeah, probably.
And who's helping you with your Instagram these days?
Nobody.
Because look at your last post.
Look at this.
You've
Do you see this on his story, man? You would.
Oh my gosh,
You
dude.
would be ashamed. Sevan. Look at that fucking processed food, big sugar. Crap.
and it's right on his cock and balls too. Did you notice that?
Dude,
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
that was on my close friends list, dude. There was only a select few that saw that.
Really? I never do that.
I also I've gotten a bunch of DMs that Matt's pushing some product that Coke makes now. Broke my heart.
I have no idea.
Monster Energy.
Are they owned by Coke?
I have no idea. But that's the new product. I don't know that he's pushing it, but he posted about it.
Yeah.
What were you saying about my last post?
So you said, Taylor, that dude's not doing anything for free. The only charity that Matt, actually, that's not true. Matt does a lot of charity, but one of the things, yeah, exactly, that's one of them.
That's a charity. That's a charity, bro.
That's the only reason why you guys are on. 'Cause I have a podcast. That's all 3 of you. Brian's trying to keep his head down low. He knows what he's up to too. Okay, so Jayson, you wrote, anyone excited to see some heavy lifting in a couple weeks? ? Any guesses on what lift we'll test ? I mean, this is like female CrossFit game girl post. This is like what the girls do, athletes do to engage their. It's like someone coached you. Hey, you need to engage your followers and ask them questions, and that's what I'm getting from this. Like someone's coaching you now.
Well, I think the backstory was what? Go ahead, Taylor.
No, I want to hear the backstory before I talk shit.
I was in Vegas and Sammy was doing stuff for Matt on his Instagram, and then I started looking at his comment or his post, and I'm like, I don't think Matt would ever say that. But it was also there was one, and it was like him and Justin Medeiros running around the track, and the caption was like, would you rather run an 800 or 400? And there was like a bunch of engagement. And so I'm just learning, like it doesn't have to be all like crazy. But yeah, it does sound like girly, like, hey, what?
Not that there's anything wrong with being girly. I mean, it fits you well. It's good. It's a nice side. And then the post before that is, whose form is worse, mine or Mars Media? And I'm like, yeah, this guy's getting coaching. But it's not that you're getting coaching, you're just learning.
Just learning, dude.
Just learning. And do you read all comments? You have 26 comments on that. Do you read all those?
Sometimes. That's 26 isn't a lot. That takes like about 60 seconds to go through.
Yeah, I think my first post on Instagram had 26 comments.
Your first post?
Yeah, I was like 13 maybe.
No, that's how many followers you had, Taylor. you gotta understand. Today we're releasing the 10 best male CrossFitters of all time at 11 a.m.
Are you sure about that? I thought we were releasing Scuds. Are we releasing both?
Scuds gets released at 9 a.m.
Sorry, I was thinking 11 Central.
And then, Brian? What does Hopper have to do to get on that list? Well, how quickly could he get on that list of the 10 best CrossFitters of all time?
3.
Dude, I have a strong case. So
Okay.
let me hear yours.
Well,
Brian.
I didn't consider anyone until they'd been to the games 3 times. So, if you happen to go this year and win and then never showed up again, then I'd have to consider making an exception for that and figure out how to assess it. But I do think that there's some value in being able to be excellent over a period of time. So probably minimum of 2 great years at the games to even be in consideration.
Or winning.
That is the question. I mean, Sevan asked me the same thing on the women's side. He's like, what if Mallory O'Brien wins the games this year and beats Tia? Then is she immediately in the conversation for the best of all time? And I was like, I still don't think I could say that.
But she would be top 10 for sure.
If that was the only thing she ever did in her career and never showed up again?
Beat Tia? Beat Tia?
I hear what you guys are saying, but it's just, when you look at the people who've made the top 10 and everyone on the list has at least 5 games experience, and then most of those are also having top 5 finishes in a lot of the years that they're there, it's pretty tough. Like the 10th place person on the women's field, for example, went to the games 4 times and finished 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 5th. That's pretty impressive. Is that a better resume than just...
Who's that?
Watch the episodes. Is that a better than just...
Josh Bridges.
Josh Bridges in the women's field. Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, so...
Oh, was that the women's field you were talking about?
Yeah, come on, dude.
Yes.
Okay, what's your argument, Mr. Hopper? 10th place was Julie Foucher.
Fouché. Come on.
My argument
Whatever.
is I am the only, as of now, I'm the only
virgin.
one. I'm the only one undefeated in the games. I'm going into the games this year without having I'm the only one that hasn't lost yet.
Wow. Was that's your first semifinals this year? You didn't do sanctionals last year?
No, I'm 1-0, dude.
Holy shit.
So yeah.
Yeah, Brian,
Is Rich Froning? I don't know. I'm asking. Has he ever lost? Like an individual?
Yeah. His first year at the games, he didn't win, right? Maybe he didn't win his second year either.
No, come on.
Come on, Brian. Don't make fun of him. He's only 20. He doesn't know all the. He wasn't around in the Stone Ages.
You
Don't laugh
know
at
this
him.
from...
Are you sure about that, bro? Are you sure about that? Homo erectus?
Sevan, you know this from UFC.
He is quite chiseled, isn't he?
You know this from UFC, Sevan. Are you gonna... How much credence are you gonna give to a guy who's coming in 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 compared to a guy who's 20-1?
Right. I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong.
There's arguments to both, but also, yeah.
But it's still pretty cool.
It is cool and it's true, and I can't dispute that.
Taylor, what do you think? Like his skull is like 3 inches thick all the way around, so his brain's only like this big inside. Is that what you're?
He just walks like.
Just off his head's off his midline by 6 inches. I'm gonna have to dig through his Instagram and see if I can find that.
Holy shit, dude. That's not even my joke. You can't be mad. I gotta pee real quick.
Whose joke is that? Hey, what's up with the sword? Is that photoshopped in there, or were you really holding that sword?
I was really holding it. That's what we got.
That's the
really?
Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge, or whatever they were previously called, has always given those to the winners of their competitions.
Is that a pretty cool sword? Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
And is your name etched on it or anything?
No, I don't think so.
That's an interesting gift. How's your training going? Are you injury free?
Yeah, I got something on my eye. Kind of hurts. A sty, that's what they call it.
Are you taking
Got a sty on my eye.
Are you taking medicine for it?
Nope.
If you were injured anywhere, would you tell us?
No.
No. Yeah.
I have an infection on my stomach, a scab infection.
A staph infection?
Scab infection.
I don't know what a scab infection is. So you have a
There was a scab and it got dirty and I never put anything on it, so now it's big and red and infected.
Can we see it?
Yeah, if you want.
I just see pixels.
That's an ingrown hair. Do you wax or shave? Where's all your hair at?
I don't shave. I
That's
used to. I used to nair.
At your own house?
I used to nair at my own house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Put
I
the
used
whole
to-
cream. This was back in the day. Put all the cream on and then stand around naked for about 15 minutes and let it burn off.
Yeah, I've done that probably like 5 or 6 times. I used to do that once a year, but I would only do that when I would go to hotels because I didn't
What
want
is this?
It's just some chemical you put on your body and all your hair falls off. I would put it on my on my chest, stomach, but there would always be like a patch this big on my back that I couldn't reach.
I think someone did that to my head in my sleep.
It's possible.
That's why your
One too
wife
many
helps
times
you
when I
out,
was a
bro.
little kid, dude. Oh.
What did you say, Jason?
You're supposed to get your wife to help you out.
Yeah, it would always be I'd go to the hotel by myself. I would be like on a work trip, and I would just run down to the CVS, and it would be like a spontaneous thing. I think it's probably pretty bad for you. It smells horrible, like something's like not right.
It does.
Have you ever nared yourself, Brian?
Well, my sister was in cosmetology school one time, and she had to do this. She had to like meet these requirements for all these different things, and one of them was waxing. So I allowed her to wax my chest, and I went into shock. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had, and I don't plan on doing it again. And I give credit to all the people who voluntarily do that regularly.
Dude, I could never do that.
Yeah, it hurt like hell, and it was terrible. I mean, I was like laying there, and I didn't really know what was happening. I never had been in shock before.
It was that painful when she waxed you that you went into shock?
Yeah, this hairy chest, man. Yeah, it sucked.
That imagery is crazy. Brian going into shock.
You're still in
For
shock.
a
You're
wax.
still in shock, dude. I don't think you came out of it. Oh shit! There goes Brian. You're gonna have to think of a good question. My alarm's going off. That was supposed to wake me up for the Pat Vellner interview.
Jason, when Mars and Heber were out there, did they say did they have to leave early because they needed to go? Where did they go next? They go to Panchik?
Yeah, they went to
I
Ohio.
asked.
Did they leave early?
Well, I mean, maybe they would have liked to stay for longer, but they had another place to go, another guy to follow.
Yeah, they
So
told
I
me
asked
that.
him.
Where did they stay? Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
I
Brian.
think 2 days.
I asked him because I think they've now left Ohio as well, and I mean they're just making the rounds. But I asked him, how did Panchik look compared to Hopper when you guys were training with him? And you know what they said?
What?
Nothing at all. They just liked it.
Oh my
They always
goodness.
do that. I always try to get information out of them.
So they probably know. They probably know better than anyone who's. I don't know though.
Well, they have that first-hand experience. I mean, they're there for a couple of days training with Jayson, and they're there for a couple of days training with Scott, and they've seen all of the best athletes train, and all the guys that are outside of Jayson, all the guys that are really in contention for a podium or championship this year, they've trained with them or watched them train a lot, so they know what it takes to win, and that's why I try to ask them stuff like that. But they're usually pretty close to the vest. They don't give much away.
Are they going to go see Vellner?
No, he's way too far away. They might go catch up with him like once he gets to Madison, but they definitely won't go out there.
They'll do something with Vellner for sure, somewhere, somehow. Look, those guys aren't picking people because they're only picking people that they think are going to be on the podium. They're not going to pick. They know you're not coming to the games. They haven't visited you, have they, Taylor?
They actually tried to. I had to turn them down. I had too much stuff going on.
Which makes me wonder why we have you on the podcast. I should take that's why we have 5,000 subscribers on my podcast, and those guys have 200,000. And those guys have 200,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. I should pay them a consulting fee. Have them give me some direction.
Dude, this is my fourth podcast with you, Sevan. I should get a cut after this.
You should. After you win the games, I'm gonna ask Matt to step down from the Josh, Matt, and Sevan podcast and put you in.
Let's do it.
This thing ain't. This thing's a business. This thing isn't for fun.
Hey, but speaking of that, can you get Josh to send me, or maybe you can send me some Good Dudes coffee?
You mean like for free?
Yeah, I can't afford that.
It's really fucking strong. Can you handle strong coffee?
Dude, I understand. Yes, dude, I make my coffee in my own pour over every morning.
Okay. And then will you how many followers do you have on your Instagram?
38.
Okay, that's probably he'll probably send you 2 tablespoons of beans. I think that I spoke to his agent Cooper and he said you get 1 tablespoon for every 100 followers or something. With a minimum of 2 tablespoons, because that's what you need to make a cup of coffee.
Can I calculate for every 100 followers?
What are you most excited about, Jayson, at the games? Is it the heavy lift? Is it the swim? Is there some modality that you're most excited about?
Yeah, anything that's pretty much just like a mindless, just go. Who wants it the most? Anything over like 15 minutes.
Is your coach going to be there?
Yeah.
And is he good at strategizing? Because yesterday Brian and I were talking, and athletes have made big errors at the games that have cost them the games. We were specifically talking about Sarah Sigmund's daughter. Is he a strategist? Will he be watching that, or will he be in the back just starstruck?
We talked through it. We talked through it together, but a lot of the strategy is basically I come up with the strategy for the most part.
The example Brian and I were talking about yesterday was the year that Sarah Sigmund's daughter was doing handstand push-ups. Do you want to tell them about that, Brian?
Yeah, it was the 2015 games. It was the final event. She was in the lead.
Pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the metal, too. She was in the lead. Tia and Katrin were close behind her, and they started on the workout and gets to some deficit parallel handstand push-ups. And Tia and Katrin were doing fairly well on those. And so I think Sarah felt some pressure to try to keep up with them. It ends up that Tia won the event, I think, or maybe Katrin won it, and the other one got 4th. So they both did very well. And Sarah basically just didn't take the rest she needed between parallel handstand push-ups and failed a rep. Ends up not just falling behind those girls, but behind a majority of the field. She finishes 22nd and ends up conceding a lot of points to both those girls, and she could have easily, I think if she had just run her race on that workout, she would have been the games champion that year. But she fell into the trap in the last workout, and it cost her not just 1st, but also 2nd, and she ended up finishing 3rd.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, he's right. For me, I learned that lesson of like running my own race at like a local comp last year at Myrtle Beach when me and Taylor were throwing down together, because it was my first comp ever local comp, and I had never competed.
Dude, you did competition before that, I thought. Little
Nope.
in-gym competitions.
Nope. I did a team one time back in the day, but I'd never done something other than that, and I literally. It was the second workout on an echo bike at the beach, and it was a 21:15:9 workout, and I thought it was going to be smart if I put the pedal down for 21 cows and do like 100 RPM for 21. And the whole thing was my mindset was, if I can get out in front of people, I don't know where everybody else's fitness is at, but if I can get out in front of people, I can just basically watch, and I'll make sure that they don't catch up. And that strategy was terrible, because I did 21 cows at 100 RPM, got off the bike like 30 seconds ahead of everybody, and then died. And then I learned that lesson, and then at Mac, I kind of like did reverse. I said, okay, like I need to worry about only me. Like I'm believing that I'm the fittest one here. I have to have that confidence, and each workout I have to believe that my fitness level is better than everybody, and I'm going to run my race. I'm not going to worry about anybody else's race, how hot they come out or anything. Now, granted, I did look around at everybody the entire workout, but that doesn't mean I wasn't running my race and holding my pacing. And so for me, I feel like I've matured in a lot, in a big way in that regard, because I'm not worried about how fast people come out. Because at the end of the day, like science is behind the theory that at some point your capacity and threshold is up. So if you come out 100% in a workout and I come out 90%, that means you're not going to be able to hold 100% if it's 15-minute domain. But if I hold 90 the entire time, I'm going to catch up, because you're not going to be able to hold that the entire time. So just knowing that, hey, I'm going into every single workout knowing I'm the fittest one here, or believing that, whether I am or not, I'm going to believe that I'm the fittest one here. My pace is the best pace, and I'm going to increase my intensity over time. And then the last 60 seconds or whatever the workout is, I'm going to put the pedal down and finish strong. And so I'm not necessarily concerned. Like if you go look at the mat, I wasn't concerned about when Travis Williams got off 15 calories ahead of me on the ski erg, or when Justin Medeiros got off, or when Ben Smith beat me by like 100 meters off that true form. Like I knew the time domain was they weren't going to be able to keep up that pace, because we're all not at that fitness level yet in life. And so I knew that if I just ran my race and increased the intensity, I'll be all right. So I'm glad I learned that lesson. So you'll probably see me in the middle of the pack for the majority of the time at the CrossFit Games in each workout until pretty much the last little leg, until I can make my move.
I guess the concern would be that what you think is their 100% is really just their 90%.
Well, yeah, like I know I'm just believing that my fitness level is the same, or if not better. So if I'm hurting in a workout going 90%, I'm telling myself that if I'm hurting, they're either hurting the exact same way or they're hurting way worse.
Yeah.
And I know what I can't keep
Right.
up and what I can keep up.
And I guess I see your point now. It doesn't even matter whether it's true or not. You have to have that mindset so you don't let the wheels fall off the bus.
Right. Yeah.
It's interesting you learn. Yeah, I learned that lesson at Granite Games. You learned it at Myrtle Beach. Bummer.
Bummer.
I beat your fucking ass in Myrtle Beach, bro.
That's because I got penalized.
Dude, I got penalized in the same workout. I don't want to hear that.
I came in first in that workout, dude. And I came in 13th.
No, you didn't.
Dropped the dumbbells, bro.
So did I. She made me hold the dumbbells over my head for a minute. I'm sitting there with these dumbbells over my head, like, can I go? She's like, no.
Not a minute, bro. You're exaggerating.
Dude, it was a long time.
It was 15 seconds.
Taylor, how is your diet and your fitness and all that since this thing has come to a halt for you?
Say my diet's normal. Like I don't eat shit, but I'm also not like tracking my macros. And I've been resting pretty hard.
What'd you say? Wrestling?
Resting.
Oh.
Resting.
And that's all because you're nursing that hammy.
No, I would be resting either way.
What for?
Well, why am I going to train 5 hours a day? I'm not going to the games. You think, Jayson, are you going to take rest after the games?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's like, if I haven't had more than 2 or 3 days in a row of rest in 2 years. Now's the time to take it before this next season.
Is it hard resting?
It's pretty hard. Yeah.
Is it going to be hard for you to rest, Jayson?
No.
Do you
Oh, it depends. If I win, then no. But if I come in second, I'm sure I'll come back pissed and wanting to do something.
Yeah, I wonder if you mean like punish yourself.
I wouldn't say punish. That's more of Taylor's mindset after workouts. I wouldn't necessarily punish myself. I would be thinking, okay, like
I need to start now to get better.
Yeah, like I didn't win, so I would be thinking, okay, I don't deserve the time off. Like it's time to get back into
When are you going to Madison?
Friday.
And what hotel are you staying at?
I have no idea.
And what room number are you?
I have no idea.
And are you sharing a room?
Me and my wife have a room.
Do you really not know the hotel, or you just don't want to say?
I have no idea.
You don't know whether you don't know? Like, do you?
I have no idea where I'm staying.
Who did it?
On Friday.
Who did all that? Who made your reservations and all that?
I got people.
Wow. So,
I'm stressless right now, dude.
oh man.
Stressless.
But so then your stress must be coming from the fact that so many people believe in you.
I wouldn't say that's stress. It's more of pressure.
Pressure. Is he stressed, Taylor?
No idea.
Do you have an opinion on it? Can you make something up for the show?
I'm nervous.
If I were in his shoes, I'd be nervous. That's it. Not a bad nervous, but like it's his first games. He wants to do well. He works pretty hard.
The same way I was nervous when I was sleeping in bed just now, and I heard you guys talking, voices coming from my computer.
I would say he was probably a little less nervous. You were probably rattled like shit. You thought somebody broke into your house, was about to fold you in half. You thought I was coming to fold you in half, dude. You heard me in your bedroom. You heard me in your living room, dude. You thought I was coming for you, bro.
Hey, you should post a picture of yourself under a pig with your hands like this, doing the splits. And my demo team experience.
Dude, so I posted this picture. I was at a pig roast. We roasted this whole pig. It was awesome. And this girl who was there DMs me and goes, what did she say? Let me pull it
You mean who is there on the demo team?
Yeah. She goes, smarter to eat pigs than get trapped by them.
Wow. So you made friends while you were there.
I made friends with a few people. There were some pretty cool people there.
Were there any assholes there?
No
Hey,
comment.
Sevan.
I will say this.
Do you want one of these shirts, Sevan?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Fuck no. I mean, I would cut that up into 4-inch squares and
I need it so I can
something
remember.
with it other
I
than
need it
what
so I can remember how to spell your name. Who the hell spells their name Jayson like that?
Come on, bro.
So
J-A-Y.
Jay. So tell me, what were you going to say about the asshole who's there?
No. I wasn't going to say anything about the asshole, and I also didn't specify that it was singular and not plural. But I was going to say that the U.S. Army Warrior team, or specifically Jacob Pfaff and Rachel Bondrock, they were really funny. They were awesome. Really fun. I mean, that's when I like meet someone, sense of humor is like the first thing for me, you know. I'm a raunchy guy, so I enjoy laughing a bit.
Do you think maybe they were intimidated by you? That maybe people might have just been standoffish because they were intimidated by you?
No, I think they felt bad I got hurt and like just didn't know what to say, but I wasn't like bitching about it.
Right. I just meant like when you got there, if there were some assholes there.
No.
Oh.
Everybody was really nice. They were
Oh,
cool.
that's good. Even Dave?
Yeah, Dave was cool. He the whole time, really.
Did you play knockout with him?
No, I would have destroyed him in knockout, and I'm not even exaggerating. I'm good at basketball.
Have you ever played Jayson at basketball?
I'd beat the shit out of him too. The only person I know I probably wouldn't win in a game of knockout is JR, but you haven't had him on the podcast yet.
Is he going to the game?
Yeah, he's going in the game's 35-39 division, dude. You gotta get him on here.
So here's the hierarchy. Here's the hierarchy.
Oh no!
Here's the hierarchy. individual men and women, and then I think the only charity we do is you, Taylor. I think that's just like
Yeah, because I was about to say you've had me on more times than you've had most of the games.
yeah. You're.
Well, let's explore that a little bit. I just have a rockin' personality.
I don't know what it is. I was hoping maybe you would bring out a different side of Hopper because we've already explored his entire mental landscape already. So I was hoping that maybe you being on the show would bring something else out of him.
Well, no. So this is what happened. This is why I was telling him to rein it in earlier. As he texted me before the show, and he's like, "Hey, man, men build men up. men support men. Let's not make fun of each other." I was like, dude, all right.
Is that really true? Did he send you that?
No, dude, no.
Taylor, is that true? Did he send you that?
No, he didn't send me that specifically.
Oh, damn. That would be amazing. Then I would be like, wow, he really is like getting into like self-help books and like his management has really gotten to him. I mean, hey, Jayson, do you think you're making too many changes prior to the games? I mean, you have a successful formula that got you to where you're at, and it sounds like now you like this team around you could be like negatively affecting you, making you soft.
What team?
Just whoever's
Just
whoever's making hotel room reservations for you and sending you clothes and.
I don't think that affects me in a negative way at all.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
Probably
me.
McGregor didn't think flying around in a G5 affected him negatively either.
Jayson,
Are you flying first class to the games, Jayson?
No.
and Jayson,
Go ahead,
it's
Brian.
been since 2009 since a rookie has won the CrossFit Games, and that's true for both the men and the women. In that time span, 4 people have finished second place in the rookie season. Their names are Rich Froning, Josh Bridges, Matt Fraser, and Tia Claire Toomey. Would you be upset if you ended up taking second place in your rookie year and put your name alongside those athletes?
I would be upset in the moment, probably. I would not be upset if I had looked back later on and had won a couple of times, or however many times, and then thought, oh, second place was like almost like a stepping stone to get where I'm at. But in the moment, dude, I don't want to come in second. I don't want to come in third. I don't want to come in fourth. I don't want to come anything but first. So, yeah, I'd be pissed.
Are you prepared to go into the final event behind and win it in the final event? Because we've seen that happen. We've seen it won and lost in the final event. Like, are you mentally prepared to like stay in the game no matter what?
I like to think I am. I've never been in that situation before, so I don't really. I mean, I'd like to tell you that I'd be great in that moment, but I can't tell you how the pressure would feel. I don't know how mentally I'll be. I don't know any of that stuff.
Have you ever done 15 workouts in over a 4-day period?
Nope.
Not even, but in training you have.
Sevan, I forgot Laura Horvath.
Nope.
I forgot Laura Horvath also did that in her rookie year, second place. I don't, someone will obviously catch on to that.
And Pat Vellner was third in his rookie year.
I think in Nashville we did close to 15 when I went up there a couple of days ago.
Jayson, when the athletes are back there, they start like forming like little cliques. Cliques is too harsh because it has negative connotation. But like Rich and Josh would always sort of be in this group together. Do you already know who you're probably going to hang out with or chill with? It's going to be interesting with Matt gone because it's going to kind of shake up who everyone hangs out with. And I'm guessing that Vellner will kind of be the veteran cool kid back there.
When you say hang out, I've never been back there, so like, are you talking about right before we go out on the
No,
floor?
there's just a ton of time where you guys will be back there just together, like hours and hours throughout the week, where you guys are like warming up together. You guys are like taking weights off the same stack. You guys will be on rowers next to each other, assault bikes, ice baths, and they kind of like these groups kind of form. They're not really rigid, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been messaging Vellner a little bit So he seems pretty cool. So I'm sure me and him will hit it off. Me and Will Morad are pretty close. He's cool. I'm sure I'll talk to him a lot. I met Justin, met Travis, Scott Panchik. But for the most part, I mean, that's all I know.
Yeah. You definitely see back there the pecking order. Like there's a. You definitely see it back there. It'll be interesting. It'd be great to get your perspective.
Why is Brian laughing?
Well, it's like it is
funny.
partially true, but also there's a little bit of geography. Like the Australian guys will probably all know each other a little well and hang out. But then it's also the training camps is now a big thing. Like Royce Dunn has come over and he's been with the Mayhem crew. So when he has a chance, I'm sure he'll hang out with the guys and girls from that crew. So it's a lot of different things. I think.
But the individuals, the individuals are usually pretty much together, and then the teams are usually together. I didn't see the teams and individuals mingling much. I don't know if things have changed.
No, they have separate.
But it's
warm-up
usually more the
areas.
light. It's usually the more lighthearted guys that are talking shit to each other, kind of stay in one group, and then the quieter guys stay in one group. Or, you'll see like the years I've been back there, like the think tank group, they kind of stay together. I mean, not that they're exclusive, but you'll see Noah and Travis and whoever else they have. They'll kind of be. Everyone kind of.
I know what
Everyone
you
kind
mean.
of stays in their own shit.
I don't have a crew though, so probably gonna be alone.
Hey, thanks for coming on, both of you. We have a podcast in 3 minutes. I apologize for the scheduling error. In the future, when we do podcasts, it's always on my time, Pacific Standard Time.
Are you serious? We're done for an hour. We're leaving 30 minutes out.
It's never.
He's got Vellner, dude.
It's never on your time. I think he's going to get us more views than. Well, that's not true. He won't get us more views than all of your appearances combined. But this one's going to be big for us.
This one's gonna be big for us.